Namaskar. In this segment, I will do Uttara Paksha of Arundhati Vasishtha observation. Those of you who have seen my other video where I did Purva Paksha of various Mahabharata researchers who at least acknowledge this Arundhati Vasishtha observation and in their own way try to do the interpretation of it. None of the past Mahabharata researchers could solve this problem of Arundhati Vasishtha observation, where Mahabharata text refers to Arundhati walking ahead of Vasishtha. Ya chaisha visruta rajas trailokye sadhu sammata Arundhati tatha pesha Vasishtha prushtata kruta. Many of these researchers thought of this observation to be something that is impossible in the very order of nature. In this video, we will look at the Arundhati Vasishtha observation, their positions in the sky in our times, and then we will go backward in time with the help of simulation, astronomy simulation, and we'll understand why actually Arundhati would have appeared walking ahead of Vasishtha in the past, and what was that time period when this actually happened, and of course then the consequence of this explanation for the timing of Mahabharata War. Let us begin with the point of North Celestial Pole. It is the point in the sky in the northern hemisphere where Earth's axis points to. And if there happens to be a distinct visible star, we call it North Pole Star. In our times, Polaris is the pole star. And what is the significance of either North Celestial Pole or a pole star? Stars close to this point, they will all be seen going in the anti-clockwise direction, going from right to the top and down towards the left, anti-clockwise direction around this North Celestial Pole, and will complete one circle in 24 hours. Let's look at the relative positions of Arundhati and Vasishtha. Again, remember the movement of stars around the North Pole is in an anti-clockwise direction, so shown with the arrow. And so naturally, anyone looking at Arundhati Vasishtha in our times will observe Vasishtha walking ahead of Arundhati, exactly opposite of the description that is given in Mahabharata text. So definitely Mahabharata War did not happen in our times. All right, so let's go backward. Now before we do that, let's look at the astronomy simulation picture of Vasishtha and Arundhati for our times. The vertical line is the line of meridian. Think of that as a 12 o'clock in our wall clock. The motion or the movement is from right to the left, that is in the anti-clockwise direction, and therefore Vasishtha is walking or would be seen as walking ahead of Arundhati as they go around the North Pole. Let's look at the phenomenon of the precession of equinoxes. So these are our relative positions for Arundhati and Vasishtha. Let's note down another star Vega Abhijit, and then a circular path created by the slow movement of the point of North Celestial Pole in this circle. The phenomenon is called precession of equinoxes. It's a slow movement of the point of North Celestial Pole, and it takes about 26,000 years before it completes one full circle. So the dotted line circle is where the point of North Celestial Pole would move along. If we draw a straight line that goes through Vasishta and Arundhati. It intersects this circle at two places. And if we do the simulation to find out when it intersected this circle, we can actually find out the timings. What I mean by that is in year 4508 BCE, the point of North Celestial Pole was at point A, and in 11,091 BCE, the point of North Celestial Pole was at point B. And let's go back to our point C, which is our times. So for part of the curve of this circle defined as ACB, when the point of North Celestial Pole is anywhere along this portion of the circle, we would observe Vasishta walking ahead of Arundhati. On the other hand, let's draw point X, define that as year 5561, and anytime the point of North Celestial Pole is somewhere along this portion of the circle defined as AXB, we will actually see Arundhati walking ahead of Vasishta, and we will do a visual scenario to make this point clear. All right, so let's remove the current pole star. Let's remove the circle that describes the movement of North Celestial Pole. And now what we have are 2 points of NCP, one in year 4508 BCE, another in 11,091 BCE. And if we draw a straight line, Vasishta and Arundhati fall along that same line. What does that mean? During these 2 years, if anyone would have observed the north sky at night, they would have seen both Arundhati and Vasishta walk together. And by that I mean one is not ahead of the other, one is not behind of the other. And if we look at their astronomy simulated pictures, you can see that for 11,091 BCE, they crossing the meridian together. No one is ahead, no one is behind. Same scenario for 4508 BCE. Now let's look at the interesting part of this curve of NCP, and we will look at one scenario where the NCP is at 5561 BCE, the position. If we draw arrows from this point of NCP to Arundhati and then also Vasishta, what we will notice is the difference is not much. However, remember the motion is anti-clockwise, and anyone watching Arundhati and Vasishta go around the point of North Celestial Pole in the year 5561 BCE would have observed Arundhati walking ahead of Vasishta. And if we look at the simulated astronomy picture, again the vertical line is the line of meridian, and movement of both Arundhati and Vasishta is anti-clockwise, which means from right to the left. And what you see in the picture is that Arundhati has already crossed the meridian and Vasishta has yet to cross the meridian. Not a huge difference, but definitely we would have observed Arundhati walking ahead of Vasishta in the year 5561 BCE, and thus the observation would have corroborated the description of Arundhati and Vasishta from the Mahabharata text. So this time period from 11,091 BCE to 4,508 BCE, I call this period epoch of Arundhati, and so that is the time interval where one should search for the timing, the year of Mahabharata War.